over the line right now. We have Brandon the Cannon Adams. If you don't know who that is, that's basically the guy who won season 5 of Epic's The Contender. And recently there was some news regarding who's his next opponent, whether it's going to be one of the Charlos or Triple G.
It's been interesting, to say the least. I've been very excited for the opportunities, the offers that's been headed my way as of recent. But just winning the Contender, it meant a lot to me, man, because I knew all those guys was really pushing. They was trying to do their absolute best given the situations that we were all given. And to pull through against all of those hungry fighters, man, it was exciting.
To the season 5 season, how was that brought up to you to participate in that tournament?
Apparently, from what I hear, the creators of the show, the producer, the directors, they wanted to get in contact with me because they seen a video of mine over the internet. I don't know if they seen it on YouTube or some streaming site, but they seen a clip of me basically saying that I was interested in fighting again, and they did everything in their power to reach out to me and also my promotion, excuse me, and nobody actually was able to get in contact with me because I was turning it down. I didn't want anything to do with the situation that I was in and the results that I was dealt with the last time I was out fighting. I just wanted to prove that, that given an opportunity, I'd be able to fight again, but I was also battling the inner demons because I didn't want to work with the people I was working with.
Mm-hmm. So you ended up going 4-0. You ended up defeating Sugar Shane Mosley Jr.
He wanted to do the same thing. He wanted to duplicate it, especially him having the same name as his dad. I'm sure he probably felt, it's a whole lot, even up to this day, that he has to live up to. And then, me, somebody who just started boxing, pretty much at the age of 19, 6 amateur fights, turn pro when you turn 21, and just putting my best foot forward and working hard and just trying to survive and make it. That's pretty much it. That's the story, at least for my boxing career, how I started. But yeah, like you said, growing up, I wasn't born into anything but, poverty. My family, my mom got 9 kids. She come from a huge family. Unfortunately, they didn't make the right decisions growing up, the best decisions, I would say. And they was at least able to teach us that much, to not follow their footsteps and follow the steps to do better, per se, if you will.
And Brandon, literally, the whole city, basically, you had your whole family in that had been right in the season finale. If it was even though Shane Mosley is from Santa Monica, but everybody from where you're from showed up to the fight.
Yeah, I appreciated that. When I did have them 3 years off, they always challenged me. Physically, I always push myself, and I like to test my mental as well. But being hit with the question, when you gonna fight again? That it does a lot to you. Being a professional fighter, it's tough. Always hearing those words and knowing that these guys believe in me, and I have everybody within my neighborhood. Like you said, there's a lot of family, a lot of guys from my neighborhood, a lot of people came out to come support me. But being questioned, when you gonna fight again? And then them studying boxing, all of a sudden now they picking it up. They're watching all of these fighters, and then they comparing me to these fighters. It's a lot that I gotta live up to.
Right.
Even though I don't, but at the same time I do, because for them to do so, they hold me in high regards, and I hold myself in high regards. Even though I picked up boxing late, I've always been a competitor. So, all it is, for me to, just fight down, zone in, and focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, and speaking about being in a competitor, you're basically in a competitive division right now. How do do you see yourself lining up with the rest of the other middleweights right now? I mean, obviously we hear names like Triple G and Charlo being the names that you may be facing up next, but what's one thing that you carried away from winning that season 5, being around Freddie Roach and Andre Ward?
For me, I'm like I might not appear it, but I was one of the smaller guys on the show. In stature, you can tell from height and everything. What I carry with me is I'm compact. I have muscles, and I work out. I work out, a lot. I grew up doughy. You know what I'm saying? I was chubby. So, and I never wanted to go back to that. So I kind of conditioned and trained myself with the help of my late trainer, Big Alvin Jones, who instilled always working hard into me when I didn't know how or didn't know how to reach that inner focus. For me, it was me recognizing my situation, knowing that I was smaller, in stature, understanding that a lot of guys were gonna want to outbox me or probably even bully me around. But once we all got in the ring and exchanged leather, I think everybody, if they didn't respect me, they learned to respect me, and I can respect that.
And so you ended up winning $250,000 and also a top 10 rank for the WABA rankings this week. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to announce it right here, but as far as like when do you probably see like a good, like, realistic timetable when you probably make your announcement? Or
you know what? First, excuse me, my voice cracking. I guess I'm real happy. I'm proud, but. They were Triple G and Charlo. They both offered me an opportunity to fight either of them. I appreciate the heck out of that because there's tons of guys that they could have asked. There's multiple guys that they could have went after, but maybe they just think that less of me. Whatever the case is, it's still an opportunity on my behalf because before they gave me a call. I didn't have a call, and we was actually scoping out and looking at all the guys back at 154, because that's the weight in which I was fighting at before the tournament took place and everything. And sometimes opportunities come, man, and we're not in position to turn them down. We're only in position to try to make them great per se. So Triple G, he offered me the opportunity, and then a little while later, I heard Charlo's offering me an opportunity, and just looking at both of these two guys, Triple G is internationally known. Everybody in this sense kind of know who Triple G is, and I had the opportunity of sparring with him when I first turned pro, which was basically like a year and a half into me boxing. So, and when I sparred with him, he didn't know how much experience I had, and we didn't speak much about, our boxing past until after we finished sparring. But, he's up there, he's training to do a job, and I'm up there as a sparring partner to do my job, basically. And we learned to respect each other in the ring and also out, of course. But that was way back when. So for me, I kind of always wanted the opportunity to prove to Triple G, and also to myself, more so to Triple G, of how much that I've grown. So I was very much looking forward to that fight because he's a titan in the sport of boxing. He's a giant. His name means a lot in boxing. So, for me to be able to share the ring with the likes of him, that to me was very enticing. And then, Charlo offering to fight me, he's got a world title and he was willing to put that on the line. I'm very appreciative, man, because some people, man, they fight their whole lives and never get the opportunity. They never get a chance to fight for a title, no matter how good or great they are. So, like, both those aspects, like, that's my view upon looking at both of these opportunities. I see them both as to becoming great either way it goes. You know, and I like my capabilities in both of these fights, man. I just want to see which one is actually going to take place.
Hey, first of all, congratulations on winning the Contender season 5.
Thank you.
My
Appreciate that.
my question to you is, you said you started boxing late. What's the biggest lesson that you learned from being in this boxing game?
The biggest lesson that I've learned in this boxing game is you got to learn the outside game way before you pick up the inside. Everything that takes place outside the ring is it's a lot more complicated than what takes place on the inside. And I thought it was the other way around. You know, when I got into boxing, I assumed, you know, it'd be a whole lot easier, you know, to figure everything out before I got into the ring. And for me personally, everybody won't have the same experiences that I have. But, you know, at the same time, that's why I'm able to share my story, my position in the sport. Boxing is moving into not only being a sport. You hear it all the time. People say, "Oh, this is a business. This is a business. This is a business." And I think we all lose sight of it being a sport more so over, you know, it being a business. And I understand that, me being a fighter, I'm not gonna come out here and bash and say the fighters are wrong, because we put everything on the line. But at the same time, like for me, I think learning the outside of the game, like all the business side of boxing, it could definitely help for when you're going inside of the ring. And for me, the hardest part of boxing for me was the outside of the boxing, basically. Everything that took place outside the ring. So what if I was to be talking to a group or a crowd of people in which I didn't know, I definitely tell them to talk to people who knows the sport of boxing, who've seen things happen. They have to be experienced. If you want to pick up boxing, you have to make sure not just one man is teaching you, but multiple guys.
Brandon, my second question would be, boxing is your vocation, but what is your purpose for boxing? What's the thing that fuels you when you get into that ring?
For me, this might sound crazy, but I grew up playing a lot of Dragon Ball Z, watching Dragon Ball Z, and playing the video game Street Fighter.
Okay.
And that, like, for me, it kind of hit. You know how Goku, he always, you know, he's looking for the fight. He wants to be the guy. You know, he wants to test his abilities towards everybody. You know, of course, at the end of the day, he's fighting for the righteousness of saving the earth, but Goku likes to fight because, you know, he likes to push himself. Growing up, I had a lot of street fights. I didn't like street fighting because I understood, you know, people were getting hurt. And I didn't like a lot of times, you know, growing up within a small community, you wind up fighting the same guys over and over. Like, you guys grow up together and stuff. And, you know, you guys fight each other, but y'all got to have some kind of love or passion towards each other, because you guys see each other on a day-to-day basis. So for this boxing, I'm able to make it a sport. You know, we're doing this for fun. You know, it's all love at the end of the day. I want him to return back to his family, and I'm praying he feel the same way for me. So it's, you know, being competitive, me being able to show what I'm capable of doing and testing myself amongst the absolute greatest of our times today.
Hey, there you go. We have a bunch of Dragon Ball Z fans here ourselves. So, dang, you made fan of this one for sure. Again, I want to say congratulations, bro, on your season win. You look excellent against Shane Jr. and your fight against Eric Wade was awesome as well, man. Again, congratulations. We wish you nothing but the best.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, taking the time on y'all day to see how, you know, the Contender of Season 5 champions doing. And looking forward to surprising you guys and also the world.